What's going on, y'all? It is I, J.H. Gibbons here.
And we'll see.
And welcome to yet another episode of the Acromis podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, episode 27. If you have been here from the jump, meaning episode 1, where we just started, we didn't have any lighting, we didn't have anything. We were just sitting in dark corners of our rooms on this, not knowing exactly what we were doing. We have obviously made some really great strides, and we are here at episode 27, and we are feeling fantastic. How you feel?
I'm feeling pretty great for a
Yeah.
lot of reasons. A lot of joyous occasions and
There are
growth.
Yeah.
And we've come a
Yeah.
long way.
Definitely.
You've come a long way.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you guys see this, I will already be a married man. That is a big deal, obviously, for anyone who has been married, still is married, it knows what that is and how that feels. And this is of course the first time for me. I've never been married before. I've never been that far. I've never trusted myself with another soul, another being so much that I said, hey, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. So when you see this, when it comes out, I will have already walking down the aisle. We would already shared our vows. We would have said our I do's. We would begin to celebrate. And of course, next week on the Acromis podcast, we'll be able to share that joyous occasion with you. What happened, how it all went down, what we ate for lunch, what we did after. It is going to be amazing, and we want you to be part of it.
Absolutely. Joyous occasion
Mm-hmm.
in life, in the Chromas community. And it's definitely a blessing to be a part of that moment and to be able to share with you guys. As you know, we don't hide anything about our lives and our journey, right, in this process. Where we put it all on display.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a beautiful moment to be captured. Hopefully, with the grace of goodness and God and just the direction of a good, strong support system, the love of choosing each other every day.
Every day.
This will be a one-time deal for you, brother.
Yeah.
One-time deal.
Yep. That is my hope. That is the hope of my lovely fiance Brianna, and it is definitely what our plan is, sir. So again, I'm sure you guys right now are just clapping, jumping for joy for myself, and I appreciate it. I needed to sit down because we're about to hit you with some good content once again. But honestly, seriously, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Look, I appreciate it. This is a great occasion for us, and I know we have some beautiful things to come.
Thank you so much for the support for the last episode that we talked about and discussed. There was a lot of feedback.
Yeah, there was. There was
a lot of it really touched home with a lot of people. And we've had a outpour of just people just giving thanks and speaking in such depth about growth and permanent change and what that looks like, and to be in your truth, to recognize it so that you can grow and be the best you at all times that you can be for you.
Absolutely. And look, I mean, permanent change, right? Marriage, I mean, that's how it's supposed to be, right? So I think that episode hits home for myself, and it'll hit home for Will, and it hit home to a lot of people who listen to it. If you did not get a chance to listen to it, it's on YouTube right now. You just go to YouTube, type in the Acromis podcast, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that notification bell so that every time we make these gems, you'll be one of the first people to get it. You'll get it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You'll get it. And it is absolutely
free to subscribe, hitting that like button, and not having to be charged anything for that. It's a beautiful feeling.
I'll never get used to that word. It's America. I'm not used to that. So this is I guess this is just what we're doing. We're just letting you guys get these gems. We're giving it to you every single Sunday, rain or shine, sleet, volcanic eruptions. The apocalypse will still be here giving you these gems because you're going to need it in the next life.
Absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as we jump into today's episode, wow. Well, this is going to be a good one, isn't it, man?
Yeah. I mean, this one, would definitely help transitioning, from permanent change and then going into the direction of, confidence, let's say after making those adjustments.
Right.
So I think this is a great conversation for us to delve into, habits to build, more confident you in your now. So
yeah, I think I want to say, for me, as I was growing up, I was always that really chubby, chunky kid, every group of friend has that kid, right?
Yeah.
So that was me, I didn't have the best smile. I was short, I was stubby, I was out of shape. I wasn't at my best mentally. And I was a kid, I was going through those growing pains that we all have gone through. And I was not confident at all in myself. I did not believe in myself. I didn't think I would amount out to anything. I've had those dark moments where it's like, man, why I would probably be in a better spot if I wasn't here. Not to say that I wanted to, end myself or do anything like that. But I just didn't want there. I wanted there to be another plane of existence that I can be in. And it was tough getting through those years. But because of because I was able to take the time out to really understand who I was, to develop myself, to grow within myself, to really know who J.H. Gibbons was. That was the only way I was able to build myself up and to create habits that would help build my confidence. So that regardless what happens, what just happened not too long ago, but
yeah,
you get to a point where you can't be shaken. Regardless what happens in your life, you keep rolling because you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you're gonna keep propelling yourself higher and higher because you walk with such swag. So we'll see what how does a confident person look like to you? Like what sort of characteristics do they have? It doesn't have to be physical, of course. It could be, some sort of emotional maturity. It could be how they carry themselves. What does somebody with confidence look like to you?
I to be quite frank, I look in the mirror and I see that person every
Boom.
day.
Boom.
So
and how does that look?
When I look in the mirror and I see who I am, I pour into the affirmations that I've set for myself. I feel as though, confidence really is a healthy form of confidence where you because you have to be really careful and cautious when you really identify what's really being confident or something of a shallow nature. You really think about it. So it's like, confidence for me represents the ability to be fearless and whatever you're going to face. So it's like, because, we always talk about the unknown, and it's like to be able to think that way, you have to be in your truth at all times. And you have to be willing to face yourself in a way that regardless of the outcome, you will be strong of whatever the circumstances that you may see yourself headed towards. So for me, it's like getting up in the morning, if I didn't have such a great day the day before, it's a new day, and just rebuilding myself in that time, in that moment, through my affirmations of what I've said, what I share to say to myself, through my thought process into, okay, I'm in my now. Yesterday was history. I leave it there. And I check myself to continue to move forward, to press forward into whatever my agendas are for the day, albeit through my interactions with certain people that I know I'm going to have to interact with, albeit through certain tasks I'm going to have to be responsible for, and then just, the things that just kind of happen sporadically, but to be able to sustain a healthy thought process in this, to know I'm going to always put my best foot forward regardless of the situation. And that to me is like what represents a good, healthy thought process in a person, that when you look at them, they're always cool, calm, collected, and poised.
Sure.
And that, through regardless of the situation. And that is something I can say from experience where I've had that said to me, but that's because I've I'm developing the ability to compartmentalize my emotions in the moments of whatever I'm dealing with, to be cool and confident that I got this, regardless of how it's going to go.
Sure.
I'm going to be in the moment for it. I'm going to own it, you know, and I'm going to spearhead it, and I'm going to grow through it, whatever I'm going through. So confidence is really, it exudes through your aura, and people feel it and see it when they know when it's genuine, but it really is on you, what you have inside. So that's a reflection of what people see on the outside. Like, for example, I dress very eccentric in my own way, and I own it. No one's out here is me, and they don't have my style of how I am. I own for what that is, and because it's a part of my identity. So I'm confident in being me, and I make it work because I love myself and I look damn good. So it's ability to know you, regardless of what everyone else says or what they feel, but to know yourself in your truth about how you feel about you.
That's strong. I think, you know, people are always going to be judgmental. They're going to say whatever they see fit, but to be able to understand yourself and know yourself and realize how strong you are internally, that regardless what anybody says, whether it's good or bad, you know who you are, and you're always in your truth.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important for you guys out there to understand that if you're always in your truth, it doesn't matter what anybody says or thinks about you. Never does. Look, I always say to myself, like, it's none of my business when anybody else thinks about me. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
I care none of it. Doesn't matter to me because I know who I am. I'm always in my truth. And once you're there, you should not be able to be shaken off of it. So I think the one that you did mention, affirmations.
Yeah.
I do believe that exercise, that habitual behavior, has helped millions of people throughout time. I think it's, it goes back to when we were talking about your growth, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's through the 21-3 method, or what you've been through to get to this point. It took the help of those affirmations, but not just saying it, but living it, believing it, truly immersing yourself into what you're saying and what you're putting out there into the universe in order to receive that back. So I truly believe that affirmations are key to helping you build that confidence. Would you agree?
I agree totally. And here's the beauty of it, where if you are in your truth enough, your affirmations would truly come from your experiences of the areas that you need to address for you. See, that's where the affirmation is really based on the root of it, the root of creating what you need to be that barrier to get you through those parts of yourself that you have to heal from. So it's really important in those moments that when you are starting to assess that and educate yourself on what affirmations are, to build that mantra for you, that you are completely honest and you're not allowing yourself to take what you see someone else may be that's not for you and your truth. So like Jay, like if you're about fitness, but if that doesn't resonate to my core, and I say, oh, well, that's something that he's good at doing, and he seems to walk with pride and confidence and exuding that when I see him.
Right.
Okay, that's going to be something I want to do. It's just, it becomes a want rather than a necessity for what's inside of you. Because if you like, that's just like someone, if they're saying that they're disciplined, or like they said they want to eat healthy, eat better, but they're not doing it.
They're not doing it. Yeah.
I mean, that's because it's not in them to do in that season for whatever the reason is.
So what in that case, what do you think they should do? Because I'm sure there are people who are listening who are like, God dang, it's already summer. It's it's about to be August soon, and I'm about to lose that window of showing off my summer body. It might, for some, honestly, it's probably too late, because if you haven't built those habits in the past, it's going to be hard to just turn that on and get to that point and be able to sustain it. But what do you have to say to those people who have talked about these things, have stood in the mirror and said, I am healthy, I am fit, I am great, I am one with myself, but then immediately they go downstairs and they just pig out on something that they know is going against where they want to go? Like, how does somebody like that help themselves?
I think it goes back again to just being in your truth. to be as raw and honest and critique to yourself than you would expect of anyone else.
Okay.
I think sometimes we get so accustomed to what it's like to not express ourselves to ourselves because we're used to the pat on the back.
That's good.
For it to just be enough. And from experience, when I begun to create my affirmations, it was deep rooted through my trauma of where I ended up, where I wasn't in the best shape that I could be in my life, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. I just wasn't, I wasn't there anymore. And I had to recognize, okay, what are these things about Will that needs to be addressed, so that I can be better in the long run. It's the tortoise and the hare story, right? Where everyone is so, we know the outcome of it, where the tortoise does win, but it is heavily focused on the hare, and most cases that's where everyone's at. They want to get to the end of the finish line,
right?
But the tortoise story, I think, makes so much sense because it's about the long game. It's about consistency. It's about taking the steps necessary to build upon yourself gradually. See, so in the example you shared where you said, hey, these people who are focused on a summer bod, right? Where it's like, you look at me and you say like, oh, he's in great shape now. But see, the journey of where I started, I wasn't here like most people. You don't get here. But I took the thought process where it wasn't necessarily about the physical transformation to get there. It was about, what was internal that I needed to create affirmations for,
right,
to help be better, to heal myself, to heal through my hurt, to heal my body. So one of my affirmations is strengthen the body. That's the first one. That's the first affirmation I had, where I was like, not just to be strong, but my whole being to be strong.
To be strong. Man.
So that's an affirmation for me where it has depth, because in order to do that, I recognize, okay, I got health complications I'm dealing with at that point in my life.
Right.
I'm not in the right state of mind completely. I'm not my best self, and I haven't been in a very long time. And here are the reasons why. And I had to be honest with myself and then start addressing those things. So what I did was, like we've talked about in previous episodes, where I just, I took that step where I went out. Sure. I didn't think about how I looked to anyone else but myself.
Right.
And was it uncomfortable? Yeah, because in my mind, I was like, I could do this at any time until I had to do it, until I went and did it without thinking. And then when I got out there, it was like, ooh, I don't like how I feel. I don't like the fact that I'm like less than 5 minutes in and I'm drenched in sweat and I'm breathing heavy and I just don't feel comfortable. And it was like, okay, I need to soak all this in so that I can grow through that, because there will come a point in time where I'm gonna be able to get through this, and I'm gonna be able to hit like a quarter mile, half a mile, then I hit a mile, and then I start building to a mile and a half, 2 miles, such and such, to the point to where it's that I can do 10 Ks. So it's like it's a process that you get to over time, where you start, today I said, like, I remember I'm gonna hit this lap that I have.
Right.
I'm gonna take my time to get there, and I will increase with consistency. And then it was like, okay, then I started running, like jogging into it to run. And then I'm like, okay, I can get a little bit further this time. So now I'm like 2/3 into a little bit more than when I first started. Then it was like, oh dang, I can hit a mile and I'm good. Oh wow, this is happening. So what do you notice happening there, guys, in the process of it? My confidence is getting built, right?
Yeah.
But it's through the affirmation that I set. It was through my truth in myself. It was through the process of recognizing an area that I had to strengthen for me to grow to love myself. Because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, confidence is the ability to love yourself in a certain kind of way. So it's just those practices you put in place where it's going to kind of help get you to where you desire to go, if it's for you and you're honest with yourself, because then you holding on to your purpose. And and affirmations are purposes. So you can't put something into that isn't for you, and expect to maintain that sort of level of confidence in all you do at all times, even when you feel like you failed. It's very important that you keep your head held high and keep your heart intact. You stay 10 toes down and keep your head up and be ready to dust off those wounds, shed those tears of emotions, whatever it is, and say, you know what? It's all good because I'm still here. Stop, breathe, assess, and go forward. And if you could do that, there's no breaking the confidence you have because your affirmations are solid. You're solid. So it doesn't matter what you go through. And like I said to you before all the time, brother, I've gotten to a place where I don't believe in losing. I learn. You learn. I've manifested that as my reality. I learned through what I go through. So I in those seasons, I welcome them because I'm like, yo, I'm gonna grow through this. I know we're gonna get better through them. If you are aware of it and you don't run from it, but you assess it and you properly utilize the tools you've been developing to methodically go through the transition to be better, because hopefully by the end of whatever that season was, you've come out of it with that lesson. So you don't lose. So how does your confidence break? You tell me. And that works for me.
I mean, in there I heard a lot of consistent progression, especially when it came to running, when it came to exercising, at least in the physical. You started small, right? You knew where you were, you knew where you had to go, but you knew that there was a journey to get there. And you were willing to be patient, you were willing to continue to make strides, but never bite off way too much than you could chew, right?
That part.
You were always in your truth. You knew that this was a long game. You knew this was a lifestyle that you were picking up. You knew that you were building confidence within yourself. And you got to this point now where, as you said, you're running 10Ks with a breeze. Before you weren't able to do like a lap, right? I mean, it was tough to even just get out, and now you're doing that. And I just want to, of course it isn't easy, but once you work it, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
And let me say something to you in that, like, where when I reference the 10K, right, it's not like I'm perfect at it. No, because I'm gonna tell you something, guys, when I take a break in my runs, I feel it. Let me tell you, so I'm struggling to hit a mile or two, but I go back to the thought process of that tortoise perspective, and I just take my time. I don't have to be the fastest at it to hit that 10K. A lot of the times, respectfully, I do see a lot of folks out there, they're tracking their time, and I'm like, yo, I hit like 5 miles in like 40 minutes. And I'm like, great, that's cool. Good for you. Kudos for you. But you have to be cautious, guys, that you don't let the standard of what they're pushing themselves for be your standard. So it's like with me, right? And there's a lot of people I see like that, respectfully, but I know I am in better shape than they are. But I'm practical about my approach to it. That works for Will. That works for Will C. Because I can't be anyone else. I don't desire to be the strongest person than anyone else I see from what they do. However, like, for example, since we were just kind of referencing fitness in this regard, when I do step into a gym, when I do step into my basement, when I do step into a zone to work out, I am my competition, right? Like right now, I got a fitness challenge that was offered to me. Shout out to you. You know who you are. And I went in it and I got it in today. But it's not even about them. It was me. So it's like, I am my biggest challenge at all time. You are your biggest adversary. Absolutely. And you are your biggest supporter at the same time. Absolutely. So facts. The tipping scale of how you decide to manage those emotions between the two is on you, which is why you have to build the tools you need to be able to be okay enough to be in your truth, to handle what that looks like. So if you can manage to assess that, we're speaking on physical, but that's just one aspect of it. Then you have the spiritual aspect of it, where if you are in your faith, so like, for me, strengthen the body, focus the mind and spirit, trust in your faith, love yourself first because you matter, protect your state of being, which I find myself using a lot of times. Jay, you had to use earlier, not too long ago. Definitely. Speaking into existence, believe it, repeat it. Those are my affirmations. That's my mantra. And here's, dig this. Chances are it's going to grow because it's adjusted over time through this process for me personally. To continue, since the topic is on confidence, to maintain that confidence in me. Because no one could take that from me but me, regardless of the situation.
Absolutely.
So, it's imperative that you educate yourself to understand what that is, what it represents, so that you can know how to do that in a healthy perspective if we're focusing on the aspect of building confidence in life, and to avoid the shallowness of not being your best self, truthfully, because you're presenting an image to the world that's not you. So really, most people that are shallow is because they recognize there are things about themselves that they are lacking, and they're afraid to address those things. And most of the time, those persons are suffering from like narcissistic personality disorder. And as we say before, it's a sickness.
Yes, it really is.
So it's a delicate line, but you have to be very cautious in the process. But taking the steps necessary to be in your truth is courageous enough.
Yeah.
You should be proud of yourself for that. And that takes confidence in itself, guys.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you. I mean, it takes a lot out of a person to be able to say, okay, well, there's something I got to work on myself. I got to take some time for myself. I got to build up myself. I mean, kudos to those athletes out there that do it in a very public space.
Yeah.
That have to step away from a game that they love, a game that they played for years and years, and practice hours and hours on end to perfect it, to get to the level where they're being paid to play a game. But kudos to them to be able to stand back from those things and really put their professional life on hold to take care of their person. And that's something that's very important.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we can't leave out the average day unsung heroes.
Sure.
Which are you guys out here too.
Yeah.
Because we do that as parents. We do that when we get up and we work. We do that as entrepreneurs.
Yep.
We do that with family. We do that with friends, with our relationships, with marriage.
Absolutely.
With any form of commitment.
Very true.
We are all going through those processes. So, I think that is deserving and, something we have to be mindful of for everyone that's applying the effort, right? Because it's global. So it's like, regardless of your stature, it's so dope when you do have someone that's on a public scale to show you it's okay. But be in your truth enough in your time to recognize your worth for you. And that's what I've identified in myself. That's what Jay's identified himself, so that we know our worth at all times.
Yeah.
We're practicing forms of self-care, because that's what that is.
Absolutely.
And you are truly okay with the idea of not being comfortable, right? So, it's okay to find yourself finding comfort in the idea of being uncomfortable, like how you say it's okay to not be okay. In those moments, because you're recognizing truth and that you're assessing something of some form of change that has to happen.
Right.
Hopefully, albeit permanent change. We talked about last episode.
Yep.
But that is something that you transition into your now. So pat on the back to everyone that's out there that is doing the work, regardless of where you feel your stature is in life, because again, it comes back to building the confidence in you, how you feel about you.
Right.
So if you're doing the work, we salute you, because we're doing the work too, and we know it's not easy. But you see, this is part of the reason why we're here as a community through the Chromis, and we're pushing this movement, because it is something in some of these topics that we do go over, it does need to be reached on a grander scale, and we hope to accomplish that, and we plan to accomplish it, and we're doing what we need to do, because again, we're approaching it with the tortoise perspective. Each one teach one at a time. Stop, breathe, assess, move forward. And in this case, we're going to be doing it together. So in order to do that, you got to get yourself right. So that's where I look at it. That's how I see it. And I think as a whole, for everyone, hopefully some of those thought processes and what Jay's saying, what I'm saying, like that's something that resonates with you. And if it hasn't, maybe it's something that a light bulb went off and you're like, oh, you know what? Why not? Let me give that a try. Let me see what's for me. Because again, at the end of the day, it's about recognizing what's for you. So check it out. See how you can work on building affirmations for yourself. If you're not too familiar with it, it's okay. Don't be afraid of it. take the confidence and owning it that, you know what, I don't know what that is or what that's like. Because there was a point in time I had no idea what that really represented. And I had to educate myself. Yep. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? That is something that I can resonate with. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And the ability to humble yourself is beautiful, especially in the form of confidence. Because you're willing to grow.
That's where it's needed.
Yeah, you're willing to learn. But if you're dealing with someone with a bit of shallowness, you're not gonna want to hear that. Yeah, you're not gonna be receptive to it.
Yet. You know, you're just not ready to receive it.
You know, which you do encounter sometimes where some people might see something. For example, they may see what we put out there and they're like, I don't need that. Yeah. They talking too much positive. Let's scroll past that. Let me go see something toxic. And that's more entertaining to them as opposed to there's some people out of maybe 500 people, we're reaching one person, we're making a difference, right? Because we're changing a life. And that one person, each one teach one, you know, they're going to go out there and they're going to do the work if they're healing, and then they're going to go heal someone else. Thanks to Maya Angelou for that. Because that quote resonated with me. So it's important, you know, and this is what we do. This is why we're here. You know, we're putting in that time. We're putting in the effort to let you know, hey, that's what a confident person looks like. Looks like you.
Looks just like you.
You know,
there's no reason why you can't be there. There's no reason why you can't live your best life and be the best version of yourself. There's absolutely no reason why you can't get to that stage. You're the only person that's in your way. So get out of your own way. That's all there is to it.
That really is what it comes down to.
Get out of your own way.
Get out of your own way.
Yes.
And walk with stride in your confidence. Yes. Own it.
Own it.
Own being you.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to be you. Ain't nobody out there that can do you like you.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Very true.
Nobody.
Very true.
For those Acromis fams out there who have listened to this podcast, this one was, you know, it was very deep. I think it was very personal. There was a lot of gems hidden in this one, but I think the thing that really resonated with me was just the power of affirmations. I think, you know, if there's anybody out there in the audience that does not know about that, I mean, send us a DM.
Yeah.
You know, I know Will C says this all the time. I say mine as well. We'll be happy to help you along to get you on that path to understand what they are and how they can help you in your life. This is a community, right? We're here for each other. We're always going to help each other. We're always going to be there for each other. We're praying for each other. We're guiding each other. We're building each other up.
Yeah.
So never hesitate to reach out for any help that you may need from us or anybody else in our community.
Yeah.
So right now, I want to take the time out. If there's anybody out there in the Acromis community, just tell us about a story about how you built confidence within yourself. And you could still be building it right now. Look, I'm doing it. I know Will C is still doing it. It's always a work in progress because we're always growing. But we want to hear your story. We want to hear where you were before and where you are now in terms of confidence. The best story that will be sent to us will be featured on our page. Again, this is a community. We're continuously growing, and we want to all grow together. So send us your story. We want to hear from you. Let us know exactly where you were before you realized your worth, before you knew exactly who you were, and the confidence that you've built along the way, and what it has done for your life now, whether it's opened doors for you in the professional field, whether you've fallen in love and been in a beautiful relationship, whatever the case may be, we want to hear from you.
Yeah. We'd love to hear that. And more importantly, guys, it's not just us, but you truly could be making a difference in the life of another person.
That's the beautiful thing, man.
You really could.
Why would you not want to give back? You know, why you yourself have experienced things that I haven't and he hasn't. Why not bring that to the table? Yeah. Why not speak your truth? Why not let everybody else know exactly who you are? Why not describe and explain how special you are? Why not show that you are so damn worth it? Why not?
Yeah, you matter. We all do. And this is a part of taking that step to show your confidence.
Absolutely.
See how it all comes full circle?
Yes. And for those of you who I am confident that you have stayed all the way through the end, we thank you.
That.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
we are confident that you stayed all the way through the end, and you've probably been here before. And for that, we also thank you. But if this is your first time, we can't leave without literally telling you exactly how you can reach us.
How can they reach us, Jay?
Oh boy, I guess I got to spell it out for them. ACHROMOUS. It's right there.
Right on my shirt, guys.
You can find us on YouTube. You hit that like button, you subscribe, and you hit that notification bell, and you'll be able to hear us
for free.
Amazing. Amazing. We are also on Instagram. We are also on Spotify. We are also on Facebook. We're everywhere. Anywhere that you can get a podcast, anywhere that you can use your ear, put one of these bad boys in, plug that bad boy in wherever you could get this, you will hear us. Guaranteed.
And for those of you that's on Spotify, it's AirPod.
Yeah.
Just so you know. There
you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. So literally what we're trying to say is that there's no way you can't get these gems, and there's absolutely no way you aren't able to share them at this point.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, and not only if you want to be expressive with it, there's another way you can reach more people and share that too. How can they do that, Jay? I mean, I think I just showed it with my shirt.
Gentlemen, theachromistore.com. You are not done living your best life. You are not done with the summer of you. You are not done with yourself until you get some Acromis merch on your body.
Absolutely.
Today, you can go to theachromistore.com. You can go to the promo code. Go to where you see the promo code, where you could type in that promo code. Type in HotBod. You want to know what you're going to get?
What's that?
20% off of anything in our store.
Oh, man. Hey, look, honestly, I just went and I bought some more merchandise the other day. For my little ones, I bought.
It's on the way.
More. It's on the way.
It's on the way.
I'm excited.
Crazy.
And I used the discount. I got that 20% off. And I was like, you know what? Hey,
you're saving money.
Man. Yeah.
You're saving money.
Yep.
Buying from our store. So, ladies and gentlemen, just go to theachromistore.com. You'll be able to see the latest in tank tops, hoodies for the winter's coming. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Let me tell you, the ending is going to be a lot more than that goddamn Game of Thrones.
Ooh,
sorry.
We may need to do an episode about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some pills for that. That's
yeah.
I'm still not over that, but you know what? Theachromistore.com will help you.
Yeah,
it'll help you get over that. For the winter that is coming and will be here longer than what we saw.
Yeah,
you'll be able to wear your hoodie. You'll be able to wear your hats. You'll be able to walk around with a flask that says the Acromis podcast on it, or Acromis Fitness on it. You'll be able to wear shirts, hood, anything, sweatpants, tights, leggings. All of those things are available on theachromistore.com. That is theachromistore.com.
Check it out, guys. Purchase some merchandise, some wear. And if you do, don't forget to DM us with it. Let us know, take a picture of it with you. We're going to share you. And, it's going to a good cause. It's going to the community, and it's going to making a difference. So, each one teach one. And, every effort is accounted for and is appreciated. And we're growing together as a unit, as a team. And, we appreciate any support that you have to give us in that regard. And we just want to make sure that you know it as well. So go rock that gear with confidence, guys. Really looking forward to seeing these DMs and seeing who's out there rocking it and showing their confidence and, the change and the effect that, we are generating as a community.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's funny because, if you guys have joined us later in this podcast and you missed maybe the first 5-7 minutes or so, then you probably wouldn't know that at this time that you're hearing this podcast, I am a married man.
He is.
So I'll repeat it again. I am a married man. Look, the ring's not here yet. But when you see it, when you watch this, I can guarantee you, you can DM us, you can hit us up, congratulate, whatever. I will be married at that time. The reason I bring this up is because I believe that our next episode is going to be something that you are going to enjoy. Those of you who are preparing for a long-term relationship, that means longer than a day, of course.
Yeah.
If you're preparing for such relationships, what exactly can you do to prepare properly? what do you have to look at within yourself, within your partner to say, I think this might be it. I think this might be the one. Right? I mean, I'm stepping into that now.
Yeah.
He has been there.
Yeah.
Who else better to come to hear such gems than this podcast right here? I can't think of another.
Yeah. I can't either. And to be quite honest with you, I'm excited to get into the conversation, but I know we got to save it for next week.
Yeah. That's tough. It's going to be tough. Wow. It's going to be tough. But I tell you what, if you hang with us, if you stick with us, I guarantee you'll enjoy it. You'll take some gems and you will take it into your life to use immediately. That's the difference with the Acromas podcast and any other podcasts out there, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Respectfully.
All right, Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's your boy, J.H. Gibbons.
And we'll see.
Peace.